Hello, friends. I was talking to a friend of mine and trying to explain my position of atheism. And I just thought that I can share some of those ideas with you all as well. So, the question is, why am I an atheist? So, the position of atheism is the claim that there is no God. So, it comes from the Greek word theos, which actually means God or the conception of God. So, one of the most common questions or attacks on the idea of atheism is the definition of God. So, the question that is asked is, how do you define God? When you say that there is no God, or you believe that there is no God, there should be a definition of God. And since the word God is so deep and means so many different things to different people, isn't the position of atheism one of arrogance? How can atheists say that, well, all those conceptions are false or wrong, or they do not believe in them, and so on? So, my answer is, I completely understand that there is nothing called as rationality or logic, right? So our complete idea or conception of reality is a contrived one. It is made up of our senses, and there is absolutely nothing we can be sure of. I don't want to dwell too much upon this, because it is quite obvious to anyone who thinks even for a short amount of time that even I cannot be certain that whatever I'm witnessing or experiencing exists and it is not an illusion, and so on, right? The Matrix movie is known to all, and much before that, one of the earliest people who, I should not say earliest, because in ancient times, this idea may have been equally popular, or maybe even more popular. The arrogance that we have discovered everything only in the modern times. I don't subscribe to that. But in the modern times, one of the people who very strongly formalized and put forward this idea that we cannot be sure of anything was René Descartes. And his most famous quote is cogito ergo sum, which translates to "I think, therefore I am." And most people do not understand it fully, because they do not know the context in which it was said. And the idea of "I think, therefore I am" is that that we cannot be sure of anything else existing. Whatever we are seeing, whatever we are thinking, whatever we are believing, whatever we are hearing, witnessing, we cannot be sure of anything. All of that can be illusion. The only thing that we can be sure of is that I am, because I know that at least the thinking processes are happening, at least the thinking is going on. So the thinker exists because the thinking is existing. I can be sure of that and nothing else. So the idea of René Descartes was that the only thing that we can be sure of is that we are, or I am. It was not a collective conclusion that we are. A more correct way to put it is that I can be sure that I am because there is a thinker, therefore thinking is going on. Rest everything, I don't know, right? So, uh, I did not want to go too much into it, but what I only mean to say is that I do not reject theistic positions from a position of arrogance. So those who believe that there is a God and they have their own conceptions of God, I believe that I'm in no position to ridicule them, to to uh, to think that they are foolish or wrong or irrational or illogical, uh, because I myself cannot be sure of anything. So so I started with uh, a position of agnosticism, that well, there are these variety of beliefs of what is and what isn't, and I cannot be sure. And there was long time uh, a long duration of time when I said and proclaimed that atheistic position is an arrogant one, because how can anyone say that, well, I know everything about the universe and there cannot be anything called as God. uh, the word God itself means so many different things to so many different people, right? So I started from that position and maintained that position for a long time. But my current position, my current belief has tilted from agnosticism towards atheism. That is, I choose to believe that there is no God in all the different variations that a God is believed in. So why did I tilt from a position of agnosticism to a position of atheism? And how do I reconcile it with my belief that I cannot be sure of anything? Because a position of atheism looks to be a very sure one. It is a claim that there is no God. So how can I say that when I know that I cannot be sure of anything? So the answer is, I choose to believe that because I deeply, deeply value my sense of awe, and I want to preserve that. Let me explain myself. Suppose I believe that there is a God. Now, this God, who is creator of the universe by definition, has to be all powerful. Now, don't dwell too much on the word powerful. You can take it in any connotation you like. But I believe that we will all be able to agree that an entity who is creator of the universe has to be powerful in some way or the other. Now, once I ascribe all the creation that I see around me to an entity that is powerful, my sense of wonder and awe and amazement diminishes. Let me give an example. I am in endless awe about life. What is life? A mixture of chemical reactions in water? And yet we can think, we can feel so much, we can experience, we can wonder. The same elements make up all these rocks and dust, and the same elements make us, and the same element makes the grass and the flowers and the plants and the cheetah. So much variety, so many different forms. Each bit of earth is full of life. It is very difficult to find a part of earth which does not have an abundance of life in it. The chemical reactions that make up life are so common on earth, and yet it is so difficult to find even a tiny sliver of life elsewhere, wherever we have been able to see. Isn't it unbelievably amazing? And if I believe that all this was created by a powerful entity, then I find that sense of awe and wonder and amazement getting reduced. Because that powerful entity could very easily have created something a trillion times more amazing, more unbelievable. I mean, if that entity is powerful, what is the big deal? They could very well vanish everything at this instant and create trillion more instances right now. What is the amazement? So this sense of awe and wonder and amazement is very dear to me. One of the greatest and most powerful source of wonder for humans is cosmology, the origin, history, and fate of the universe. How was all this created? Where is it going? What is the ultimate fate? All of us have experienced it while watching a starry night sky, or watching the billions of stars of the Milky Way if you are lucky, or watching the images from the Hubble Space Telescope or the James Webb Telescope. And this sense of wonder diminishes greatly if we assume a powerful creator. How? Why was this universe created? Well, because the powerful entity wanted it. Where is it going? Well, wherever the powerful entity wants to take it. What is the ultimate fate? Well, the powerful entity will decide it. So the questions get trivial answers if we assume a powerful entity. How many universes are there? Well, whatever the number the powerful entity has created, and so on. Will it go on expanding or will it contract? Well, the powerful entity will decide, and so on. The awe and wonder only becomes powerful when we do not ascribe the path of the universe to a powerful entity. So this is another example where assuming a powerful entity diminishes my sense of awe, which is very dear to me. So even while understanding that I cannot be sure of anything, I choose to believe that there is no powerful entity behind all this. It is, as an analogy, while understanding that there is no objective sense of beauty in anything, that is, nobody can be sure that something is beautiful or not, it is just that I am choosing to say that I will look at it as beautiful. So, in a similar manner, I cannot be sure. I know that I cannot be sure whether there is a creator or not. But I am choosing to look at it and say that the universe is beautiful. And I am unable to say that as strongly if I assume a creator. So, this is the reasoning behind why I am an atheist. Thank you so much for listening.